are doing episode 2 of LiveLIMP. God, I hope I sound okay. And also, I got an annoying little freaking flashlight on me so you can see me now. So, how's everybody in the chat room? How we doing? God, I hate the delay. I gotta get used to that, definitely. Yeah, for those just joining us, we have a fun little discussion going on about Skyrim, about how it's kind of overrated. ICD Kittens basically is saying that the storyline is a bit better this time, though, but I kind of argued that, honestly, it just kind of feels like a map overhaul. Volume's a bit low. Okay, let me fix that up real quick. Oh, it's at its highest point. It's always something. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys hear me at all? Alright, cool. Alright, I don't know what the heck I'm turning up and down then. Oh well. I'm gonna leave it alone. Alright, so I'm gonna start off with at least one of the questions that I got through email, just to kind of kick this thing off while we wait for more people to pour into the chat room. And one of the questions was sent in by Aussie Crafter, and he asked, what's the big difference between the LiveLIMP LP and the one you do with Joe and John? And primarily the big difference is that the LiveLIMP is just me. It's just my LP world. I do all the work inside it, versus the LiveLIMP, versus the 3 guys, 1 bucket LP that I do with Joe and John, which is, that's pretty much all 3 of us kind of three-stooging it a bit. I expect my LP to at least be a little more technical right off the bat, but I do expect the 3 guys, 1 bucket LP to be a little more humorous. So, hopefully that answers your question, Yoshi. I don't know why I shared my speech about that. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive into the LP world here. I've made a pretty big amount of changes here. One I can't really show too much is just that I went crazy in the caverns areas, trying to light up the areas so that my mob spawner will work a little more efficiently. Everybody already saw the wheat farm. You don't need to see that again. And let's see what we got. Obviously, the one big change is that I have a complete roof over the tree farm now. I also replaced a lot of the wooden blocks that were left over with actual glowstone, since I went farming crazy on that. I've also pre-cut some of the leaves on this, so later on, you guys are actually going to have to witness me cut through all this wood and make you guys suffer. People watching on YouTube are going to be able to skip through that. We're going to move over here real quick. Obviously, my food farm is still handy. I've killed a bunch of pigs and cows in there and breeded some more, and they're still going strong. Eventually, I actually plan on moving this all the way back there. I'm going to make an actual farm area, so I will change that up. And yeah, Icy Dead Kitten says nice windows. I'm assuming he's talking about the little glass area here. That's primarily for aesthetic purposes. We're going to move down here. Now, don't ask me who originally designed this, because it came from the Machinima Realms videos. But this is a boat launcher. And right now my boat's a little crooked. Let me fix that. I know it's stupid. Alright. But yes, the primary purpose of this is basically to serve more so as a dock than an actual boat launcher. We'll kind of test this out here for you real quick. Pours water down, launches me out, and now I am... Oh, Icy Dead Kitten's corrected me and said on my dirt house. Yeah, yeah. Place sucks. I'm tearing that down at some point, and I'll show you later. But yeah, so that is my dock. Ultimately, it lets me kind of shoot out my boat kind of get a nice view around squid. Kind of see the area here. And then we'll go ahead and turn this bad boy around. And bring this back over to the dock. Now, I'm sure whoever actually designed the dock here, if you want proper credit, by all means let me know, and I'll let people know on the next episode if you designed it. And of course, the boat comes over these pressure plates, pistons bring these things down, water kind of pushes the boat in the center, I don't have to touch any buttons, and then it's relatively supposed to land in this wood block area, but it doesn't always do it, but that's okay. So that's my dock. That's got some of my boats in there and some of the wood that I've gained from here. This is a zipper elevator, nothing too fancy, just kind of brings me up here. Eventually I'm going to move my wheat farm, and I also got some melon seeds, so I am going to, my flashlight died. 1 second. Sorry, technical difficulties. There we go. Flashlight's back in action. But yes, this is where I'm going to essentially put my wheat farm and my melon farm at. It's a bit bare right now, obviously, but this will be the case. And ultimately, this area will actually kind of serve as the main area of my fortress once I'm done farming as much wood as I need. And by the next episode, I should have enough wood to pretty much last me for eternity. And what I'm going to end up doing is in the next episode, I'll actually burn the trees down just for pyro kicks. Now, one of the design flaws is that I didn't design a way down. So, watch me as I flail down like a noob. Alright. So, boat launcher, piston elevator. Here's my chickens. Nice little chickens here, flopping around. And I have to go in there. Oh, he got free. That's alright. I'll find him later. Alright, and of course the stone generator. I made a couple changes to this thing. First off, from the top, I hid the redstone, so you don't actually see the redstone going into the piston anymore. It actually is nice and hidden. And this is just for maintenance purposes if I need to break the cobble block that'll sometimes appear from here, and I'll explain where that comes from in a sec. But essentially that's that. If you actually come over here, I'll show you. I moved the button to the left side, and I made this little window here so that I can actually see if the water block gets broken. Now, the thing that's interesting about this is that originally I was under the impression that you can only have the water flow one block before it'll actually create a smooth stone. It does seem to go 2 blocks because it goes from one here and there, and the main reason why I did that is that I got sick and tired of the lava constantly killing my water source block. So what happens is that if we have a situation, let's see if I can recreate it. Can't recreate it right now, I guess. But if you get a situation where the lava will actually flow down faster than the water, this block here will turn into cobble, and then I can actually just break it and the water will flow back as normal. The stream looks like it's okay to me, I see dead kittens. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know my flashlight keeps going out, so hence why it's a little darker on me again. But I don't know if the stream is going down. I'm sorry if it's like that. Gunther, can you help out? Is it freezing for you too? Nope, it's raining. Gunther with a wisecrack response, as always. So I'm assuming the stream is working just fine for you, Gunther? I swear, I need to have, like, intermission music while I'm talking with chat. Okay. So, I see the kittens, it's your computer. Sorry. I'm gonna get, like, the I Dream a Genie song queued up and ready to go. That way, whenever I'm waiting for a response from chat, I'll just have that playing. Anyway. But yeah, so basically, I'm trying to recreate the issue here. Let's see if I can do this. There it goes. See, and then that turns into cobble. And then to fix it, I just quite simply come up here, break that. Okay, I see what I gotta do here. It's not that simple. Noob moment. Alright, I'm gonna actually have to take the lava source block out. There we go. Bam. No water's back. Put that back there. Bam. Smooth stone. So yeah, I mean, as painful as that looked, it was actually much more painful to recreate it before, because I had a glass block instead of a sign, and ultimately it was killing the water source block every time it would do that, and then I would have to go grab water from here, put it back, put the lava back, and it was very mundane. So that is a slight design fix, but ultimately I think I might go with a standard cobble generator at some point, because I think it's just a little more efficient. So, but for the most part, smooth stone generator. Some of the changes I made to it, pretty stuff. Now I'm on peaceful. Let me go ahead and change that real quick. Let's turn this on normal. And I took Icy Dead Kitten's advice, and I don't know if you could see it because it's kind of dark, but I took his advice and I actually doubled the paths, the waterways in there, and now they're rows of 2 instead of 1, and you can actually kind of see that the hole's a little bigger from here. Now, the efficiency of this obviously is not that great still. I don't know if that's just a flaw on my part, but I've been trying to go around in these caverns and let up the area, and I think I'm just going to need to spend a little more time on it and try and get everything lit up. However, when this thing does work, it works very well actually, and let's see if I can trick this thing. I think I might just be a little too close to it. There we go. And then voila. Let's see if we get some more drops here. Okay, there's 11 entities in there. 13. Okay, so we should see... Oops, sorry. Should see some droppage. Now I've also noticed... Oh, there we go. I've also noticed one of the flaws in my design is that every now and then I'll have a skeleton kind of like fly by, shoot me, and I'll get randomly hit by an arrow as I'm walking past this thing, and that's probably something I'm going to have to change at some point. Maybe put some glass panels going all the way down and see if that does the job. But it's just kind of funny how, like, I'll walk and then all of a sudden, bam, I get shot by an arrow, like a ghetto drive-by. Okay, there we go, we got more. I'm also using rando mobs, so if you notice that the creeper was a little more swamp looking, that's why. Okay, but yeah, as you can see, it does work. It's not extremely efficient like maybe like the birdcage idea from Doc M and Etho's mob spawners, but it does the job. I can't complain too much. Okay, so with that said, this is my sheep. As you notice, they are blue. This is basically going to be kind of like my blue wool farm, and the main reason why I want blue so much is because some of the rooms interiors I want to have it blue, and it's much easier to farm these guys and have them mate now that they make blue babies, and I'll have a nice supply of blue wool without using so much lapis. So I know this seems extremely obsessive, mostly because it is, but I love blue wool. So I've also been breeding these guys a bunch, as you can see, and yeah, at some point I'll start shearing these guys and cutting them down and all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and pick up some mobs. Hopefully I don't get drive-by shot down here. I also took out the water, and the pathway down here was getting kind of annoying, so it's just a straight ladder now. And one thing you'll notice is that I got a buckload of chests now because I got a lot of stuff. And all this is from all my mining excavations and all that. It still needs a little organization, but you can kind of see what I'm going for here. Let's go ahead and put these where they need to be. Like so. Move that in there. Okay. This is where I will be doing my alchemy as soon as I actually start getting some alchemy parts. I don't have too much in the way of that, and I will fix that at some point. I also want to get an enchanting table, but I'm going to have a whole room for that, so I'm not going to go too crazy on that right away. And of course, this is where I'll store my ingredients and bottles for future use. So let me go ahead and store the cobble where it belongs. Store the wood block here. And put my sticks away. Wrong one. There we go. Alright. So that is essentially it for the time being. I'll actually go into the nether a little bit later on in this. And I just realized you probably don't hear any game sounds. Let me go ahead and turn some of that up here. There we go. The soothing sound of rain. Is that drowning me out too much, or is it low enough where it's not too bad? It's funny, I got the stream going on my other channel, or on my other screen, and I can actually see the delay on the stream. So I'm kind of waiting for my mouth to move, and then it'll actually play that. It's interesting. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn this down a little bit because it is kind of annoying me, so we'll go ahead and do that to 10%, and it shouldn't be so bad. Okay, so now you guys get the painstaking enjoyment of watching me cut down wood. Giggity. And this is probably the most painful part of having the tree farm, is just going to tree. I actually even removed half slabs just to make it a little smoother to come through. Just because I was just so sick and tired of walking around these half slabs, and oh my god, it's just so tedious. But I need wood, and lots of it. So, but yeah, I don't know if any of you guys got a chance to watch the first episode of 3 Guys 1 Bucket, but it is up. We got some pretty clever comments in the comment section about it. I know Icy Dead Kittens complained about the darkness factor, which is a product of my recording software. I'm going to have to figure out how the hell I'm going to change that. But I know that the main idea as far as 3 Guys 1 Bucket is that we want to try and see if we can get somebody to kind of do some camera work for us. We want to stay a little more condensed next episode, so that way we're not all just kind of running around doing our thing and you're stuck looking at one perspective. So we want to try and get somebody else in to do camera work, and we'll let you know when that happens. But for the time being, the next episode will be on Tuesday, and it should be fun. I mean, I had a blast recording that. One of the things that's interesting, though, we had a couple people ask why the heck we used 1.8.1 to start the LP, and the thing is that our server doesn't use Bucket, so by no means is it because of Bucket RB, but the reason why it's still 1.8.1 is because we recorded that back around Halloween, and John kind of disappeared after a while, and I didn't want to start an LP series if he wasn't going to be around. So I pretty much kind of held on to the footage, and then when John kind of came back full time, that's when we said, all right, cool, well, let's go ahead and use the material that we got instead of starting fresh, since we're going to use the same map anyway. And that is the answer to that. Surprised the chat's a little dead right now. See, I think the problem is I planned this one. This one had actual prep time, so nobody came because there was there was a schedule. I think next time I'll just spontaneously within 24 hours just be like, hey, I'm doing a live limp services ring. So so definitely but nonetheless, thanks to those who did come. We'll have a little fun while we're here, and obviously the video will be posted on YouTube like the last one was. So even if nobody else joins the channel, it won't be a big deal. We're gonna be able to show the material off anyway. Alright. I think I'm just gonna let this stuff naturally decay. This is getting mundane here. Yeah, but I see dead kittens. You say that you're dead, but I thought you just see dead kittens. I didn't know you were actually dead yourself. Nothing. Is that wah wah wah? Alright, so more wood cutting fun here. I did do a little exploring, and I kind of felt bad about that because I ended up generating some extra chunks that I now have to brighten up for my mob spawner. But I did some exploring, and I found that the funny thing about this thing being generated in 1.8 and now with it being 1.1 is that there's a bunch of biome tearing. So I'm not 100% sure what the heck I'm going to do about that. It's going to make it kind of interesting when I get into moments where I have to explore out. But it's pretty interesting when you see an ocean biome all of a sudden collide with a what I think is a taiga biome. Is that what they pronounce it? But yeah, all of a sudden you just see this frozen wasteland like just naturally standing out of an ocean biome. It's kind of interesting. So, oh, I see Dead Kitten says the kittens killed me for spying on them. Crazy ass kittens you're dealing with. I see Dead Kitten says you need to light up the immediate area, not every chunk. I tried that, and it's the mobs are still spawning kind of like. And then like what I've been using is I've been using F3 to get my entity count, and I still see entities popping up in other locations. I think maybe there's a dungeon that I'm just not finding, and I might need to get rid of that dungeon. So I'll have to do some exploring at some point. Alright, I came prepared. Let's go back and pick up saplings. I love how all these saplings are like spawning on top of these leaves. It's like, I think they're purposely trying to make me work for them. Screw that, I'll wait until you decay, bastards. Alright, anywho, we'll go ahead and start on the next row. Yeah, now you see why I pre-cut those leaves for this, so that way, instead of spending 20 minutes on this, I'm spending 15 minutes. Okay, I see Dead Kitten says that mob spawners only work when you're 16 blocks within them. and yeah, then what is spawning mobs? That's what I'm dealing with right now. Is there's mobs being spawned elsewhere, and I seriously have used maybe about 9 rows of torches in the area. Especially there was a ravine not too far from here, and I had to light that up, and that was pretty fun. So, well, I'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't like using the TNT thing, just because it seems a little cheap to me. I'm not completely for using exploitations. I mean, I know you got guys like Doc M and Nito who do that, and those guys are very renowned within the Minecraft community, and they're able to do that without much backlash, which is fine. I mean, you know, everybody has their different methods, but I don't like using it because it just kind of seems like an exploit to me, and I don't want to use exploits in order to figure out what's going on. I mean, I know that's probably bullheaded and stupid, but I already feel bad enough that I got freaking the HD patcher to use Faithful, so I want to try and keep the gameplay as natural as humanly possible. F3 is not an exploit. It's built into the game. You don't have to use any cheap little things to make it happen. It's not an exploit. I'm sorry. I hate to argue with you. I think F3 was probably more of an exploit back in, what was it, 1.7.3 and before, where it actually had numerical numbers on top of mobs' heads, and you can actually see that through walls. At that point, yeah, I could kind of see where that would have been considered an exploit, but it doesn't do that anymore. You just use the entity count. And even then, that's not even completely accurate, because it can even pick up some of the squids in the ocean area, so I don't really consider it much of an exploit anymore because of the whole numerical numbers above their head not showing up anymore. Oh, and for those who are going to be watching on YouTube, I'm sorry, I realize I'm like having a conversation with somebody in chat, and I'm not even saying the name of the person I'm talking to. It's Icy Dead Kittens, and he's basically saying that F3 is also considered an exploit, and I'm pleasantly disagreeing. I'm also going to watch this video after everything is recorded, and I'm going to count how many times I've said Icy Dead Kittens throughout this entire video. Ginzacorp says, didn't catch F3, didn't have mob ID show up. Where have I been? High on Ginzacorp cookies. I'm not sure. I think they made that change back in 1.8, if I remember correctly. Ginzacorp writes, I haven't baked a cookie in months. Thank God they don't go bad. Must be those preservatives you're putting in them. Alright, so I've officially cut all the trees down. Oh, that's nice. The freaking mail program just popped up. Alright. There we go. Sorry about that. And then I collect all the saplings. But yes, the big plan is that once I burn down the remainder of the trees for kicks, I will ultimately break off these half slabs and kind of design a bit of a mansion around the area. I want to try and get some ideas from P.S. Wayne, if he doesn't mind kind of showing me some ideas as far as using clever designs with cobblestone and all that fun stuff. So that way, you know, my house doesn't look so noobish. Ultimately, the mob spawner will move into this area as well. That mob spawner is pretty much a temporary solution to get items until I am satisfied with the drops. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as that is concerned. Another thing is that this little island over here that you see, where I originally kind of had my base of operations, that will be leveled. I will break down that entire area and ultimately use the resources elsewhere. So that little island will go bye-bye. Excuse me. So how much fun is it to watch me collect saplings? I'm sure you guys are like enthralled at the edge of your seats. I know that's gotta be fun. And as far as the plans for... Oh, there's that chicken that got free. Elusive chicken. But yeah, as far as the plans of what to do with LiveLIMP, as I mentioned on Twitter, I probably will not schedule another one until January. And the main reason being is because with the holidays here in the States, and I'm sure elsewhere as well, it's going to be extremely busy. In fact, I'm not even 100% sure if we're going to be able to do LIMP episodes throughout the entire month. I'll let you guys know as soon as I know something about that. But with it being so busy with the holidays, it's just impossible for me to spend as much time on the LP world building things that will ultimately be attractive to people that would come and watch this. So starting in January, I'll go ahead and I'll start doing more of these, and it'll probably be like an every 2-week thing. That way it gives me enough time to actually make the adjustments to the world, and I can build everything naturally and make sure that everyone's having a good time. Gunther Corp sarcastically writes, "Ooh, which pile of saplings is he going to pick up next?" I think he's going to pick up the ones over there. I also got a couple of... Actually, I have one more emailed question that I'll read off in a little bit. And I also want to make a quick shout out to Keith, who had challenged me quite a bit ago to make a song based on LIMP and ultimately the server, and I wanted him to know that I have not forgotten. I'm actually in the process of writing the guitar parts pretty much this week, so hopefully once I get that recorded, I'll get the vocals recorded. It will be death metal, because that's what I do best, and there will be lots of growling and evil and angry words, and it won't be cursing. It'll be PG enough to where kids can watch it. It's just their parents might be completely mortified. But yeah, the song will probably be done sometime by the end of the month. I can't give a guaranteed date, but I also got some wallpapers I need to work on by Timmy H, and ultimately the LWC challenges. The LWC, and I'll get that stuff done sometime soon too. And for all purposes, the one thing I definitely want to mention is that I want to give a shout out to IC Dead Kittens, who did actually make a pretty awesome dirt mansion for the last LWC before it got canceled. He was the only one that submitted one, and it's pretty awesome. And I think he still has the download available on the forums. You should check it out if you have a chance. And I definitely would suggest it. It's interesting And of course, IDC Dead Kittens always goes above and beyond when it comes to creating things, because simplicity is just not one of his best traits. So, much love to you, buddy. Alright, sapling, 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 sapling. You know, that's so much easier just to hold down the right click button. I'm sure people in chat are face palming right now. I see Dead Kittens. I don't know if you actually heard my shout out to you, but basically I let everyone know that you did in fact send in a dirt mansion, and it was actually worthwhile. So. I'm offline. Oh, I'm still very much online. I'm still here. Alright, I think I'm finally at the home stretch here. Alright. Yay. Alright. I have finally gotten all the saplings in place, painstakingly. And, there we go. And I always have, like, quite a few to spare here. So let's go ahead and get these deposited into the log. Chest log. That sounds dirty. Alright. I also made a buckload of boats because they're ridiculously fragile. So. Oh, and one thing is if I ever run out of boats, got a nice little crafting table hidden right there for me to use if I need to. So that is that. Let me go ahead and get these deposited in there. Eggs! I also have too many eggs. I gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with them. I saw fire for a second. I think the lava generated the fire near the wooden trap door there. Interesting. Oh, nice. Alright, collect all the loot. I'm also not seeing any Endermen pop up there. I think I made the roof too small. In fact, I don't really see Endermen much at all in this map. It's kind of weird. Okay, farming is this one. Okay. And feathers go in there. That goes in there, that goes there. Where do I have my buckets? Here we are. Probably should put that with these. Okay. So with that, I hear more death. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, so you can already see some trees spawning there. That's pretty awesome. And once those spawn up again, I will cut through them one more time and have a little fun with that. I'm going to quickly grab my wheat, and then I will take you guys into my nether. Oh, I see. Well, I tried to, no, I guess I should say who's saying what. I see the Kittens writes, on small islands they are hard to catch since they always teleport away when they go off the island. And, yeah, I know what you mean. I tried to limit the islands around here. I tried to make sure that they all went below sea level. I don't know if that really helps too much. I don't know if they could spawn on top of a block with water on it. But, yeah, they're tough. That's Excelente. It was funny because I was using Jeb's snapshot from last week, which was a kind of like a development build of Minecraft client, and there was an interesting glitch where it would turn tilled soil into regular soil if there was wheat that was broken near it. And I had one that was broken here, and it removed this one. It was kind of interesting. So I've actually switched back to the standard 1.0 client, so that way I don't have that issue anymore. I also have not seen one apple in the development build of that, so from what I understand, they're pretty rare when you break in leaves. So, okay, so with that done, I'm going to go ahead and dive into the cavern area real quick. So I'm going to show you what I did here. Okay, I see the kittens writes they can't spawn on islands that are underwater, but they can teleport far enough away to where they despawn. So, oh, that's probably not helping right there. Do I have any fail on my part? I'm coming down here and I don't even have torches on me. Probably should get some food too. Oh, I'm gonna put a pressure plate right there. Alright. I also want to get a rail system that goes completely around the island. Just have like a minecart that's just circling around just for kicks. I think it'd be a good way to get around. I'll pick up these while we're here. Thank you for the free experience. I love the sound of falling mobs as they die and wish that they didn't fall down that little hole. Breathtaking. Where's that? Here we go. Yeah, as you can see, there's my melon seeds. I also want to make a mushroom farm at some point, but we will get to that another time. Okay. Torches. Durka. Okay. Bam. Alright. Now that we have torches, we are ready to rock. Ooh, arrows. Oh, let me grab one of those signs too. I see that Kittens writes, squids might be one of the main reasons why there's problems with monster spawns too. They do technically count under, I think it's like the 200 mob cap that's in single player. I do the best I can to try and cut them down, but, you know, there's always so many that spawn. I've never seen more than about 20 per screen, though, so I don't think they're completely limiting my monster spawns, but they're not helping either. I can definitely tell that. I forgot what I was going to do now, because I'm stupid. Oh, sign. There we go. Had some signs already pre-made. Go ahead. Yeah, see what I mean? Look at that. Look at that. I was coming up the ladder, and this motherfucker almost shot me. If it wasn't for this freaking half slab right here, I would have had a arrow in my head. Endoplasmic Panda writes, they have their own spawn cap, separate from both monsters and passive. Welcome to the chat, Endo, and definitely awesome. Good to know that answer. So, let's go back to my little cave area here. I just realized I got like 15 minutes left on this, so I'll try and make this a little quick. There we go. Alright, now I can run down here again. So naturally, I'm making a liar out of myself by having these areas that are dark. I really should be more careful as far as lighting up these areas. So let me just do that real quick. I'm not going to go too deep down, I just want to do a quick run through. And ultimately you guys can see all the freaking work I've put into this. Put one there just for kicks. That's there. The one thing I do love about this area, though, is that there's so many ways for me to get back to the surface that are naturally generated that I never get too lost. And it's pretty nice about that. Let's go ahead and jump down. Ow. And I never did get myself food. Jesus. Alright, so let's pop a torch there just for kicks. Do that. Is this coming from surface? It is. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll ride this up here, because I need to get food. I'm dying here. Bam. Just in case. And there's those squiddy bastards. Look at them. Flapping away. Okay, that led me all the way over here. Alright, so let me get me food, and then I'll go ahead and start taking some questions from chat, and I will also read off that last email that I have. These trees are really booming out. Nice. Very cool. I love watching that. Oh man, that's like one of the coolest things. Just watching this thing. Oh wow, there's 15 mobs in there. Alright, this thing's really cooking now. Oh yeah. I love watching those mobs fall and die. It's a beautiful thing. Here, you guys gonna watch me eat here. Sweet. Okay. Let's go ahead and head down. I'm gonna pick up these mobs here. Mob drops. Okay, over here. And I'm well aware that I need a better drop delivery system. We could still do Nether if we have enough time. I see the kittens asked if we were still going into Nether. I will I'll definitely do the best I can to squeeze that in. Okay. So let me stop this here. And I will go ahead and start answering some questions that I got here. The last emailed question that I got was from Samly the Manly. He asked, are you going to build a better mob spawner? Yes. I do plan on it. It's actually working nicer now than it has, period. So I'm a little happier with the results of it. But yeah, at some point I do plan on building something that's a little more elaborate than what I got up there right now. It's kind of small, and I do want to make something that'll ultimately get me more drops. But it was a temporary build ultimately just so I can get some mob drops while I'm crafting up the world a bit. So, okay, so that's that. Ah, Timmy H has joined the chat. You're late, buddy. Timma! All we need is Jimmy. Jimmy. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, enough South Park references. Alright. Getting the headphones. Timmy H writes. So any questions from chat before we head into the Nether? Timmy H writes, just got back from something very sad. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry, this period there. Just got back from something very sad. I hope everything's alright over there, Timmy. Icy Day Kittens writes, are you going to make a mob sorter that channels mobs into the mob arena, or into a mob arena? Probably not. I'm gonna make a sorter, mind you. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I really want to set myself up for a mob arena and ultimately have myself get my own ass kicked when I could just go into the Nether and have some fun with that. But I do plan on making a sorter, so that is in the works. Corp writes, rock, paper, or scissors. Chuck Norris. Endoplasmic Panda writes, are you going to do one of these live streams on the server? Good question. I plan on it, but I want people to be online when I do it. In all seriousness. One of the biggest problems we have on our server right now is that it's kind of quiet. We get about 5 or 6 people on there, and don't get me wrong, I love every single one of them. They're all great, but it's a little quiet right now. And if I want to, if I want to do one on the server, I want it to be a little more booming before we do something like that. Endoplasmic Panda continues, perhaps show off some of the cool stuff, and hey, I will be there. Definitely. I know, man, you're on like the majority of the time, and I definitely appreciate it. You and Munch are awesome. I love you guys. You guys are fun to talk to, and I love your sense of humor, so by all means, that's awesome. And I still need to know what Munch wants to call his town, by the way, so have him let me know about that. I see Dead Kittens writes, I might come on a bit more after a while. Hey man, people are busy. I mean, we got Hankers, who's one of my favorite Aussies, who is also my fellow smartass, who has been offline for a while dealing with college. So, I understand things happen, Timmy H writes, yeah, sorry, I haven't been on much, but it's the holidays, so it should be on Heats. Heats with an exclamation point. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. I especially expect the holidays to kind of kill our server for a while because the majority of our players are American or celebrate holiday type stuff. So, alright, take care, IC Dead Kittens. Thanks for coming, man. Endoplasmic Panda, he says, I can tell you are an American. Are you aiming that towards me? No, Timmy. Okay. Yes, Timmy is an Aussie, but he's an awesome Aussie. Awesome Aussie. That's awesome. I like that. Yeah, I am from Chicago, and I'm actually really shocked that you guys haven't suffered a Chicago siren yet. Typically, there's about one murder every night, and apparently tonight is one of those nights where it they put it on hold just for LiveLIMP. So, oh, Endoplasmic Panda has family here in Chicago. Awesome, awesome. Where do they live, and what is their favorite shade of blood? No, I'm kidding. But yes, I'm Chicagoan. I love Chicago, despite everything that is in fact Chicago. But it's a great place to live because of the fact that it's one of the few places where at 4 o'clock in the morning, if you want a burrito because you're hungry, you can literally go down the block and walk about 15 feet and you can get a burrito. So, being a nocturnal bastard that I am, that's a pretty important quality. Alright, so if you guys want to keep asking questions, go ahead and send it into the chat. I'm actually going to pick up the mob drops one more time, and then I'm going to go into the Nether, because there's actually some stuff I've built over there. Whoa. Whoa! You see what I'm talking about? Look at that! Guy almost freaking shot me in midair. Good lord. I gotta be careful. Skeleton's a straight up gangster. Damn, I hope you guys saw that. That was hilarious. Timmy H writes, how did you get into Minecraft? Believe it or not, it was actually Joe and John who got me into Minecraft. I'm going to be completely honest. When I first heard about Minecraft, I wasn't completely enthralled with the idea of a game that kind of looked like something that would have been made on Super Nintendo. And I wasn't completely fond of the whole building Legos thing either, and the idea just seemed kind of stupid to me. And then Joe and John, who are first-person shooter guys to the max, were like, "Oh man, no, you gotta go, you gotta check it out, you'll like it a lot." And I did, and I was totally hooked. I think the first night that I bought it, my wife was complaining to me because I spent 16 hours building my first world. So it's a very addicting game. Alright, so real quick, before I continue, this is like my, I want to say like my nether spawn point. I even have the coordinates written down for this area just in case when I go out venturing I don't get lost. But it's just a stone brick area. It's kind of designed more so just to kind of house this and make sure this thing doesn't break. I know these blocks will probably break if they get shot by the fireball, but this is one of the areas that I started mining into, and I actually had to cover some of this up because it ultimately turned into lava drops in all directions. So, but over here is where the real meat and potatoes of everything is at. I think it's over here, yeah. Let me break out my sword just in case. I really do need to make armor at some point because I am naked, and that is not going to do. Let's see what we got here. No, they won't, don't worry. I'm assuming that's for the fireballs. Gunther Corp says Minecraft is Lego, essentially. Which, if you see the Mega 64 video that has one of the guys playing Marcus, it's hilarious. Or Notch, I should say. It's basically Legos built around Minecraft. It's pretty awesome. Timmy H says that's a nice nether house. Most people have nothing. I really didn't put that much in here. I want to do more, but I basically kind of built this because I had a bunch of stone bricks left from when I made a bunch for the treehouse. So, or the place where I'm growing trees, not necessarily a treehouse. Endoplasmic Panda kind of corrects me a little bit in saying that fireballs only break the really fragile stuff, which I'm assuming is like netherrack. So, that's cool. I did not know that. I am now being educated in the world of Minecraft. Stone bricks look amazing. I really do love the look of them. They look so much more natural than the regular clay bricks. The problem is that I think I've used them way too much recently. Like if you go to New Aurora, it's just absolutely filled with it. So here you have it. This is like my little netherrack bridges that I've used to kind of get around a bit. Make sure I'm not going to get blasted by a ghast here. But yeah, so at some point I actually do want to change these out and build that. I'm kind of running out of time, so I will have to show you guys the Nether Fortress on another episode. So I'm going to go ahead and head back. No. Endoplasmic Panda writes, didn't mean to correct you, sorry. No, dude, it's totally cool. I'd rather be corrected than release this video without answering it later on and looking like an idiot. So I have absolutely no issue with people correcting me. It's quite alright. I have Icy Dead Kittens do it all the time. In fact, he writes the news for the podcast now. So I basically have him correct me almost professionally. So it's quite alright, no worries. Timmy H comments on my netherrack bridges going, oh, that looks real safe, Scott. Yeah, that it's not entirely safe. In fact, I'm not going to lie, a lot of times when I'm traveling through the nether, I will have it on peaceful, just because I'm so afraid of death. So I'll do a real quick recap of... Jesus, that arrow is still there. Oh, you bastard! Fucking A. Still shot me. Alright, so real quick recap of everything before we end the show. This is my mob spawner. I took Icy Dead Kitten's advice and I actually increased the channels to be 2 blocks wide instead of a single block because fighters were in fact clogging it up. In fact, you can kind of hear them now. I'm going to have to find another way to push those fighters down, by the way. Oh, that's so fun to watch. Oh, wait a second. Look at that. There's a creeper right there. Look at that bastard. But yeah, so that's that. That will be broken down at some point and moved and ultimately made better. But that is just a temporary solution. Blue wool I have plans to make some of the rooms with a blue interior, and this is to ultimately make that easier on me. The change that I made to static stone generator, the big change that I made is that I've put the water source block 1 back so that it flows 1 block here and then 1 block under the lava. I mainly did that because there was a problem that I was consistently having where the lava actually would. Let me see if I can recreate it. But the lava would, in fact, basically mess up the water source block, and then I'd have to go in there, break it, pick up another source block. I also hid the redstone, so you don't see the redstone on the roof anymore. Sold trapdoors for maintenance purposes. Chicken farm for me to collect eggs. I got too much of them, to be honest. Tree farm. Alright, we're gonna go upstairs and kick some creeper ass here. There we go. What's up, buddy? Let's go. Come on. What's up now? I'm wondering if I need to put some torches up here because I don't know how he spawned. Anywho. Endoplasmic Panda wrote in chat, I don't know, some of Icy Dead Kitten's corrections aren't very legitimate. That's between you and Icy Dead Kittens, man. I'll let you guys battle that out. In order for me to show the rest of the world, I'm actually going to go ahead and use my boat launcher again. And there we go. It's launched in here. It doesn't launch me very fast, that's okay. I don't want it to be very fast. So we're going to use this and kind of wrap around here. It begins. Timmy H writes, I can put a big house on top of the tree farm. I don't want to do that. That's not a bad idea, actually. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to do that. But yes, there's my my meat farm, which you can see there. My little secret entrance into the cave that's underneath the tree farm, right there. This is the spawn area that I had, that I was kind of using as my base of operations, that will actually be broken down at some point, and that will become water. The wheat farm is over there. That actually will be broken down and put on top of this area here. And that's essentially it. That's all the changes that I've made. Timmy, you actually came in a good time. You didn't get to see me break down all these trees, which I did earlier. I'm sure that'll be fun. Endo asks, where did you get the slime balls? The slime balls, I found a slime chunk that is, I want to say, somewhere around here. I'll have to look for it again. But there was a couple slimes down there, broke that. I actually took down the coordinates at some point. I gotta find the document that's got that, though. And I do plan on actually making a slime farm, so that way I can get that stuff on a regular basis. So push that back in there. And that is it. So there you go. At some point, I plan on moving all of these farms that I have in a kind of a general area around here. I'm going to move the fences out here to where it's all nice and segmented. And I won't have to go all the way around the world to do it. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, guys, unless there's anything else left to mention in chat. And, yeah, I want to say thank you very much to Endo, Timmy, Icy Dead Kittens, and Luther for coming into chat. And, of course, anyone who checks this out on YouTube and ultimately enjoys it. The next one will be in January. Like I said, the holidays makes it really tough for me to do these. So in January, I will make this a every 2-week thing. Most likely it'll be Wednesdays at 11 p.m., the usual time. And thank you guys very much for coming. It's always a blast. I love interacting with the chat. And if you haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, check out 3 Guys, 1 Bucket. The next episode will be a lot better, I'm sure. There's a couple of dark spots there, and I know that drove people nuts. But check it out. That thing is going to be every week. So next week on Tuesday, there'll be another episode, and it sure is going to be a hilarious time. Let's see. Endoplasmic Panda says, you got a nice setup here. Can't wait to see more. Can't wait to do more. Timmy H says, same. Shame I missed the most of it. Don't worry about it. Like I said, it's going to be on YouTube. So no worries, brother. Endoplasmic Panda says, I know you pitch it every podcast, but YouTube channel, yes, youtube.com/Scott Viper, VYPER 911. Yes, 911. I'll type it in chat too, so yeah, it'll be there. Interesting thing, I know a lot of people actually have asked me, and I'm going to go ahead and tackle this while I'm on here. A lot of people have asked me why I use a YouTube channel that's got my personal name and not a LiMP name. That's because I had that channel prior, which I was using for video game reviews. And since it was already cleared to go beyond 15 minutes, I went ahead and I kept that channel and just removed all the other videos and went straight for that instead of creating a new channel. And it worked out a lot better that way. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, thank you guys very much for coming. Spread the word. And ultimately, this will be up on YouTube tomorrow, which for those watching on YouTube, that's technically Thursday. Which, if you're watching this, obviously you know it's released. On my part. And like I said, next time we do this will be in January. Please check out the forums for the next date. You can find the forums at www.lethalinjectionpodcast.com. For those who are watching on YouTube and has not checked out our podcast, check out the podcast on there. You can also access it through the website I just gave you. It's also on iTunes. If you search Lethal Injection, we're the first thing that pops up. So check us out. The co-hosts that I have, Joe and John, they're funny guys. We've got lots of fun segments on there. And be sure to check us out when we release those episodes every Monday. So enjoy. Thank you guys so much. Love all of you, and have a wonderful night.